Wilson here. Happy Juneteenth. You know, there's something I never heard as a kid, and today I'm wondering, why isn't it a national holiday? Shouldn't Juneteenth be a national holiday? When you think about all the things we have holidays for, and I'm not here to bash on any of them, but Juneteenth remembers the end of slavery, and we don't have a national holiday to celebrate it. You know, I didn't grow up in an area with a lot of African Americans and had never heard of Juneteenth, but the thing, as a celebration, is 150 years old. It remembers in 1865 when Union troops made it to Galveston, Texas, rolled off the boat or whatever, and read orders saying, by the way, all slaves are free. And that was a big deal. And it was important. It came 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. You know, and it reminds us that sometimes good news is slow to come. And I have read some pieces as I tried to learn about this that said, don't call it Happy Juneteenth, because, you know, what was happy about it? You were in slavery. It took 2 years to get there. You can't, like, give people their freedom. They should have their freedom as a natural human right. And I understand all that, but still, it seems like it's great news worth celebrating. I mean, I would feel really happy, I would think. You know, you think about all the things that we've been through as a nation, and we have a lot of holidays commemorating a lot of things, but this was like the big thing we overcome. Like, now that I think about it, you know, knowing something about history, being an adult, looking at the world around me, and why wouldn't we recognize that accomplishment? Why wouldn't the end of slavery be like top amongst the things that we've done as a country? And when I think about why it's not a national holiday, it doesn't give me good feelings, you know? I don't think that it's not a national holiday as a clerical oversight. And I understand that making things a holiday does not mean that the world gets better. It doesn't mean that we're going to address racism in the United States or the incredible history that we have in this country of oppressing particularly African Americans. And, you know, all holidays kind of turn into paper decorations and alcohol sales at the grocery store. You know, it's going to Juneteenth greeting cards and Juneteenth things to put on the wall, and whatever the official drink would be to go up there with the margaritas of Cinco de Mayo and the green beer of St. Patrick's Day. You know, like, that isn't necessarily going to advance the cause of equality or justice. But that's what we do, man. It's America. We're gonna have a party. It's gonna turn into, you know, the hamburger fest that is Memorial Day. But that doesn't take away from why we have Memorial Day, which, by the way, does date all the way back to the Civil War. I just think, you know, it's worth doing. It's worth doing now. When you think about the amount of change we've been through right now, just in the last year, I think the world was kind of uppity and edgy in 2019. In 2020, you know, you had the presidential primary, and that was tumultuous, and the idea of an election year. And then we had coronavirus, which flipped the world upside down, followed by the worst economic slump since the Great Depression, possibly worse than the Great Depression. Then we had the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protests, which were, you know, shaking the world. I mean, the world is changing underneath our feet all the time. But I think that those moments when we're starting to look inward and think about what happened to George Floyd and why, and you see people from all walks of life getting together across the country, and then you have Juneteenth kind of like roll up on you, like, why shouldn't we be talking about this every year, at least a little bit, while we have our hamburgers and our beer? I think it's worth it. I think we did a good job with that whole ending slavery thing. And most importantly, you know, all this change lately, a lot of it seems negative. Like, oh, I don't know if I can handle, you know, getting laid off. That sounds really scary to me, or getting furloughed. And what if I get coronavirus, or somebody I know has coronavirus? I mean, it wasn't even a thing last year, and now it's like the nightmare that stalks our dreams. Change can be scary, and I know I'm not the world's best adapter to change, but Juneteenth, to me, reminds me that change can be great. I mean, sometimes somebody can walk up to you and say, hey, the world's changed for the better. You know, like, you're free. Think about that. That's huge change. It's wonderful change. It's the change we want. It's a change we're always hoping for. And we should embrace those moments when we've made huge, radical, wonderful change. And let's have a party, man. I think it should be a national holiday. I'm grateful to the people that kept the memory of Juneteenth alive over 150 years so that I could learn about it now, you know, in my old age. But at least I heard about it. At least it's here. And damn, it should be something we are righteously proud of in the United States. Thanks.